Hello, everybody. Welcome to our Super Slay, great timing, episode 13 of season 3 of
Oh
Fandom
my god.
Academy. We kind of slayed so hard on that one.
Didn't realize.
Unintentional slay. But we're going to talk about Tortured Poets today. I'm joined, as always, with my guest, Laila. Laila, how are you doing after the album?
Yeah, I'm unwell. We'll get into why, but as if this is episode 13, I had literally had no clue. It's been a roller coaster of a weekend, and I'm excited to dive into it.
Yeah, Jaden is missing today. He's pretty busy. He'll say his thoughts on next week's episode, but for now, you get us two. And we're gonna deep dive into this. We might be here a minute, so bear with us.
It's gonna
But
be worth it though.
we're gonna start with track one, and that's Fortnite featuring Post Malone and TBH. This really set the tone for the album very quickly, because
Yeah.
within the first 2 minutes of the song, she's talking about killing someone. I love this song. From the first time I heard it, I was like, "This is very Lana Del Rey,"
Yeah.
and I love it. This one seems to be about Maddie Healy. As we'll get into
It
it more
has to be.
frequently on this album. Key lyrics that hint me in this way is "I only touched you for a fortnight," and we know that Taylor and Maddie's relationship didn't really last that long, so I feel like that makes sense. Some of the lyrics in this, I'm like, what is she saying?
Yeah.
Like, your wife waters flowers, I want to kill her. Not really sure what that means. Genius says to water flowers, is metaphorically speaking, is to tend to one's responsibilities. Contrast this stable wife with Taylor, or the narrator, the ex who, by her own admission, has become a functioning alcoholic. Yeah.
Okay.
So, whatever that means is our best guess. Layla, what did you think of Fortnite?
This is one of the ones that I needed to warm up to. I'm not gonna lie, I was so used to the AI version of Fortnite that I was like, I expected it to be more like hype, but as soon as I listened to it a few times, and once I'd watched the music video, I
Love the music video.
really, really loved this song. Like, it took the video for me to be like, yeah, this is a really good song. But I remember I listened to the album with my best friend and one of her like flatmates, and just when the line was like, "I want to kill her," we were like, "Huh? Like, who are you referring to right now? And why are we like trying to commit murder in the first song of the album? Like, there's so many more songs to go, and we're already like setting the tone right now."
Yeah,
It was crazy, but yeah, this song has grown on me a lot, and I love Post Malone in this song. I
me
think
too.
though he's not as present as I expected him to be, his presence is like enough to really like bring this song to life. So I do really like this track.
It really did a good job of setting the tone for the album, as we talked about. And there was also a lot of the lines from this song were the ones that were teased. I
Yeah.
Loved You, It's Ruining My Life was in here. And I agree with Post Malone. I wasn't so sure if he was needed on first listen, but then I kept listening to it
Hmm.
more and I realized how much he added to the song. And so,
Yeah.
especially when she goes, "I love you, it's ruining my life," and then he echoes it, that is one of the best
Hmm.
parts of the song. Their voices, weirdly enough, are so good
So
together.
good.
Um, there's just so many lyrics in this. All my mornings are Mondays stuck in an endless February is so fucking real.
Yeah.
So I think that's good, and it really, really did set the tone for the album. This bridge is good, and yeah, I loved it. I've loved it from first listen. The music video is so amazing. We could probably do a
So
whole
great.
episode just on the Easter eggs in there. She has a debut hair at one point in the,
Yeah.
which I don't know if it was just to go for the look she was going for in the music video, but it proved to me that that hair can come back and will be there
100%.
when she does that album photo shoot. So I'm
Hmm.
very excited about that. So, unless you have anything else to add on Fortnite, I'll let you take the reins for our next song.
Yeah, next song is the title track. We have the Tortured Poets Department. And this, I'm gonna be honest, this was one of the ones that I was really, really unsure of when I first heard it. I think it was because of the lyrics. Taylor, I love you. But when I first heard some of these lyrics, like there were leaks for this album, okay? And one of the leaks I saw was a lyric about Charlie Puth. And I was like, there's no fucking way that that's actually included in the song. And then I listened to it and it was real. It was just this song was really not the vibe that I thought it would be. Like the Tortured Poets department, I was expecting like some soul crushing, like deep song, really like delving into a lot, but it was just not what I expected at all. And it is pretty low on my album rankings currently, but today I have been listening to it a lot and it is growing on me. So this is like a recurring theme, like Fortnite. They're growing on me a lot. Obviously, like the album, as we're recording, the album's only been out for what, 2 days, 3 days.
Yeah,
Like,
it's
is we
Sunday on
really
recording, yeah.
like it's really like it does need to grow on you some of them, but the lyrics in the song, some of them are like insane. Like, who else decodes you? Like some of like just it's insane. But who do you think this song is about?
I think this one's Maddie too.
Yeah,
I would say it gives more Maddie than Joe, and I think a lot
yeah,
of this album is more Maddie than we realize or we're
yeah.
expecting. But I agree with you. Some of the lyrics in this are really good, but some of them are
Mhm.
also questionable. The Charlie Puth one caught me so off guard. I was I I heard the leak and I was like, this is just AI. There's no way it's
Yeah,
real. And then I heard it and I was like, oh my God.
yeah.
And I saw a Twitter post, which was so funny. It was the meme of what's her name? She played Princess Diana in The Crown.
Oh, Elizabeth. I know who
Debicki,
you're talking
Elizabeth
about.
Debicki. Yeah, yeah,
Yeah,
yeah. When she won at the I think it was the SAG-AFTRA
yeah.
Awards, and she was
When
like
she's like,
and stood up, and that was like Charlie Puth this weekend, and that made me giggle so hard.
I
But, I agree
also
with you. This was towards the bottom of my rankings
yeah.
first listen. I feel like there's just a lot to uncold. This was Jack Antonoff and Taylor Swift,
Mhm.
who produced and wrote this one, obviously Taylor, but this is a Jack track. And there is some calling Maddie Healy a golden retriever. Obviously, I don't know
Get
the band,
away
but it
from me.
seems
Get
questionable.
away from me, please.
But yeah, I this is just okay for me. It was one of my
Yeah,
favorites, but it's still good songs. Everything Taylor Swift puts out is good.
yeah.
It's one of her longer tracks on the album, right?
Mm,
4:54 length.
yeah.
So yeah, pretty good. Nothing crazy like we'll get into with some of the songs later, but I like this one.
It's a good track. All of them are good tracks.
Yeah. Now, the next one is one that made my top 5
My
and still is
boy.
in my top 5 because of the chorus that just scratches my itch. Um,
Whew.
when she says, "My boy
My boy.
only embraces baby toys."
Nice. Oh,
Oh, oh, oh, love it.
unreal.
It's so good. This is also Jack Antonoff, I believe. Yes.
Yeah.
This one was written solely by Taylor, I believe she said in an interview about this song. This is about, I think Joe. I think this one's about Joe.
Yeah, the
Um,
once I fix me, he's gonna miss me is
yeah,
fucking insane. And like
yeah.
that's so like I can't even like explain that. Like once I fix me, he's gonna miss me. Like you left, like you've moved on and like you're making this better version of yourself and then he's gonna realize like what he's missing out on because you've like fixed that part of yourself. Like not that it needed fixing in the first place, but like you've like made this better version of yourself and then he's gonna realize like what he's missing out on. Like it's fucking crazy. I can't.
There's also a line in here that could reference Invisible String. It says, "But first pull the string and I'll tell you that he runs because he loves me." And
Yeah.
obviously we know who the Invisible String is about. There's a lot of connections, like low-key connections to other songs in this album, which hurt. And a lot of them do tie back into stuff about Joe, which is very, very sad.
Yeah.
Um, but yeah, I love the chorus of this song, the beat of this song. This is
Mhm.
probably one of my favorite Jack songs from the album. I think this
Yeah.
is good Jack Antonoff because we've gotten some good and some bad Jack Antonoff as of late, and I think this is a good Jack Antonoff track. I love it. Like I said, immediately top 5, and it's just catchy. It's a catchy bop. You can't hate a catchy bop.
It's great. Something we were saying this weekend is that I like there's nothing I love more in my life than Taylor and Jack working together. But after Tortured Poets, I think Taylor needs to like move on And not like leave Jack in the dust. Like, obviously, please work together again because they're geniuses and everything they put out is great. But I think Taylor needs to go see some other producers and really like branch out.
I
And
also want her to continue working with Aaron because these Aaron tracks
all
on this
day, every day,
album are
please.
unreal.
It's it's a lot. But yeah, well, let's move on to the next track,
This
which
was the
is
most shocking one, I think,
yeah.
for the first 5 songs. This was shocking
This is
lyrically.
the one that I have been like, if I'm just in silence, I'm like, I'm down bad, like it's such like a boppy song, and I'm fucking obsessed with it. It's so great. What do you think of Down Bad?
Like I said, the first time I listened to this, I was like so many times. The lyrics where it's like, "Fuck it, if I can't have him, I might just die. It would make no difference."
Yeah,
Hurt. Um, this one told me she was in a really, really bad place, when she was writing this album, and understandably so with all that she was
Mhm.
going through. This is a bop though, and the lyrics are
Mhm.
so not like but like
No,
the beat
that's
is.
that's actually the whole theme of this album. Is the most depressing lyrics in like the most upbeat
And
track
there's a
you've ever heard
song
in your
that
life.
is, like, crazy with that
Oh,
later called "I Can Do It With a Broken Heart," which we'll get to because I know we both love that song so much.
yeah.
So, we'll get to that one, but some of the lyrics in this are crazy too. Crying at the gym is real.
Yeah.
It just is. This is probably one of the more repetitive songs on the album. It's a lot of
Mhm.
repeating, um, but I love this one. This is top 5 first listen. I don't know if it's top 5 still. It's
No.
right around the edge of it, but this was top 5 for me first listen. I loved it. I still love it. I think it's
Also,
just
her saying "I
crazy
lost
ass
my
song.
twin" is such
Yeah.
an interesting choice, I feel like.
Who do we think this one's about? This is one of the ones I'm most unsure about. My
Yeah,
heart's
this
telling me
is
Joe.
if I had to pick, I would say Joe because, yeah, I
I
can't
think
picture her writing this by anyone else.
I think the way she intentionally wrote this album was to make us confused about who the songs were about,
Yeah.
and I kinda love that 'cause
Yeah.
it's more fun to dive into. I saw a picture on Twitter that was really funny. It's like Taylor Swift intentionally writing the song so you don't know which one or who it's about, and it was a picture of Donna, from
From
Mamma
Mamma
Mia.
Mia, I
Yeah,
saw that
with
too.
the 3 guys, and it's so funny.
That's so funny.
But let's move on to track 5.
Track
Woo!
5.
This is one I claimed, but Layla, I'll let you take it away.
Yeah, So Long London.
Oof.
Um, this is a painful one. We all knew this was coming as soon as the track list dropped. So Long London really stuck out to everyone as being like, fuck, like this one's gonna hurt, and it did. It really did. And you know Taylor has a track record for like the most soul crushing track fives ever. This definitely lives up to the track 5 title. Again, still very different to what I thought it would be. Like
Agreed.
the production on this song is so like unique and
It's
like the
so
way
good,
that
though. It's
so
so
good.
good.
And like the beat that she sings the lyrics to, like especially at the start and like before and after the bridge, like the duh, 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 was
Mhm.
just so like I did not expect that at all. And it
This is
really
our
like
first Aaron Dessner track of the
yeah.
album, which he made his statement known quick about how hard he was gonna eat on this album, but man, this song hurt. The
Mhm,
intro was really cool, and right
yeah.
after the "So Long Londons" are starting to end, before we get into the actual beat,
Mhm.
you can hear a little bit of "Call It What You Want" in there, and
Yeah.
that's painful.
Yeah.
I don't know if that was intentional or just happened to happen.
Mhm.
I'm guessing with her it wasn't. This song's about Joe. This one's obviously about Joe.
Yeah.
Um, "Call It What You Want" was one of the first songs that was like Joe, and this probably being one of the last songs we'll get about Joe.
Mhm.
Oh, hurts.
Yeah, it's rough.
The lyrics in this. I gave
My
you so much
spine
of my
split
youth for
from
free.
oh, yeah.
I stopped
My
CPR
spine
after all it's no use. This is like you're losing
that
me on
that fucked me
steroids.
up. I was gonna
That's what
say,
this
this is
song is.
literally you
Yeah.
losing me. Yeah. There's
Um,
also a lot of, like like, I saw my mind the fairy lights through the mist, like, we can leave the Christmas lights up till January, like, please leave me
Mhm.
alone. I cannot be doing these, like, lyrical parallels right now. It's painful. And there's a lot of this throughout the album I wanna mention before we move on, like, to the other tracks. There's, like you mentioned, we can hear Call It What You Want. Throughout other tracks, you know, we can hear, like, Death by a Thousand Cuts, like, White Horse is so prominent in one of the upcoming tracks, and it's just, like, all these samples from the previous songs kind of, like, reflecting the vibes, but also just making them so different. Fucked me up. I was
Yeah,
sat in this car listening to these tracks, like, it's crazy.
it's wild, and I wanna talk about the bridge specifically for this song.
Mhm.
'Cause, oh my god. And you say I abandoned the ship, but I was going down with it, my white knuckle dying grip, holding tight to your quiet resentment, and my friend said it isn't right to be scared every day of this love affair. Every breath feels like rarest air when you're not sure if he wants to be there. Oh my god.
Like, what do you mean? What do you mean?
This song hurt, but I do wanna talk about the production on this song. The
Mhm.
build. The build is so good to the bridge and
Yeah.
then after the bridge, and I love the way that she incorporates "So Long London" into meaning different things after every
Mhm.
verse. I think that's pretty cool. Because from the first one, she goes, "Oh, the tragedy, so long, London, you'll find someone," and it's kind of just referring to almost like a man named London,
Yeah.
Joe. And then, um where's the next one? Oh, and I'm pissed you off. You let me give you all that youth for free for
Mhm.
so long, London. So then she's
Yeah.
referring to time, which is
Mhm.
kinda I loved how she did that.
Yeah.
Um, it's just how much sad did you think I had? Ooh,
Also, this was the song that we had to, like, pause after she said a very specific line. It was "2 graves, 1 gun."
yeah,
I was like, "Pause this shit right now. I need to fucking, like, scream." I can't. I can't.
wild.
Ruined.
It's painful. It's not as bitter as another song on this. It's just kind of, like,
Mhm.
reflecting and just, like, sadness, and
Yeah.
oh my god, this one hurt. It delivered for track 5 on production alone. The lyrics just make it so much worse.
Yeah.
It's one of my favorites from the album. I knew it would be one of my favorites when I saw it was a track 5. Track 5s don't miss, never have, and, mm, this just and I decided to do the fun thing of listening to London Boy and immediately going into this song. Ouch, don't do
Mm-mm.
that.
Mm-mm.
But Layla, our next song was a little bit of a shocker from lyric wise, and I think that was the
Yeah.
intention. But Daddy, I Love Him, again, a long one from the track or long track. I think this was one of 2 songs to go over 5 minutes. It's 5:41, which is pretty long. Um, this one was really fun. What'd you think about it?
This is in my top 3 tracks. It has been since the first day I listened to the album. This is like love story on fucking crack. Like,
Yeah.
this is the song where, like, all week I've just been, "But daddy, I love him." Like, in any situation, this is the one I cannot get out of my head.
Baby.
"Put my dress unbuttoned." Like, and the fucking TikToks to this song are hilarious. I'm having his baby, everyone's like, and then Taylor being like, "No, I'm not. You should see your faces," is fucking hilarious. Like,
Iconic,
she is iconic for that.
iconic.
That's like my favorite thing to come out of this album is just like the "No, I'm not, but you should see your faces." Hilarious. But yeah, this song is just such amazing vibes. And like the "No, I'm not coming to my senses. I know he's crazy, but he's the one I want." Like, please just get out. I cannot. I'm obsessed with this song. I'm obsessed.
I love this. There's a certain line at the end of the song, or towards the end of the song, right before the bridge, which I really love, is I don't cater to all these vipers dressed in
Yeah.
impasse clothing. That's a wild line. And when we get the vipers, whenever Taylor Swift talks about the vipers, it's crazy. I honestly think this is probably the scariest Taylor we've encountered lyrically. Like everyone always used to say it was Fearless Taylor was the
Yeah.
scariest. This is a scary Taylor we're
This
getting in
is
these
very
lyrics.
scary.
And it's so iconic and I love it. I think I love what I love about this song so much is it's so unique from
Yeah.
anything she's done before. Just lyrically, production wise. I think this was this Aaron or Jack? Let me look.
Ooh,
This
actually,
is Aaron
look it up.
and Jack. So this is what you get
Oh,
when they come together.
this
This
is
is
what they
really this is pretty damn good. I love this song. It's just another upbeat song with really, really wild lyrics. And
yeah.
I think what was crazy about this album, and we kind of knew it with the name of the album and just the vibes we were getting. She, again, like she did in Folklore, really got to flex her songwriting muscles. And
Yeah.
when she does that, they're good. And honestly, a lot of the events that we're assuming she's writing these lyrics about are from very recent memory. There are
Mhm.
2 songs on this album about Travis, and she got those songs out quick, and they're both
Yeah.
bangers. So, um, I love this song, and like, at this point in the album, I was like, "This is already such a banger of an album," and I was
Yeah.
already sold. So
I've also seen so many things about this song, like, so many of the lyrics being about, like, the fans. Like,
mhm.
the
The "I'm having
Vipers.
his baby" lyric is
Yeah.
100%, um, about the fans and
And,
how
like,
into her life they are.
the "No, you can't come to the wedding." Like,
Yeah.
because people have been like, "Oh my god, like, blah, blah, blah." And also, like, her just kind of, like, solidifying, like, "But daddy, I love him." Fine, maybe she's talking about Scott, but, like, it's also about, like, us as fans commenting on her relationships, and she's like, "But I love him, like, it's none of your business, and, like, I'm not gonna change my mind about it just because you all disapprove of it."
And there's commentary about that in a couple songs, and I think she really got fed up during Maddie Healy
Yeah.
because no one in her fan base was here for it,
No.
and she comments on that quite a bit.
Mhm.
I think I think the a lot of that commentary is "I can fix him." I think there's
Yeah.
quite a bit in there, but this song is a whole bunch of commentary on her fan base as a whole. I think the daddies it could like you said, it could be about Scott.
Yeah.
I think it's
It's
a
about us.
lot about the fan base, yeah, and how we need to let her live. And I saw something, I forget what song this was from, I saw it on a TikTok where it's like there was a quote in it, and it was like it might have been "I can do it with a broken heart," and just kind of a view of
Mhm.
her fan base as a whole, where so many people tell her they saved her life and how much pressure that puts on someone who also is going through it.
Mhm.
Um, it's hard to, like, keep up with that, so I love that she was willing to write about that too, because that's kinda bold, writing about how your fan base annoys you in
Yeah.
an album, but I think she did it in such a good way and a way that a lot of people need to listen to.
100%.
But Layla, if you wanna take us away for our next track.
Yeah, we're on to Fresh Out the Slammer. This is, I mean, I feel like I've said this to all of them, but this is just not what I expected at all. I really thought this would be like, oh, I'm free from like this toxicity and like I'm away from all of this. Fresh Out the Slammer. I thought the Slammer would be like, I don't know, but this is just so different to what I expected. And I'm not gonna lie, this is one I really cannot picture how it goes. Like the beat, like I'm reading the lyrics right now, but this is one that I really have not listened to that much. So what do you think of Fresh Out the Slammer?
It's almost like the getaway car of this album,
Mhm.
in my opinion, in terms of just, like, the lyrical narrative. She talks about running back to someone who I'm assuming is Maddie, um, when she got
Yeah.
out of a relationship, and I saw someone on Twitter say that she went back to Maddie after Calvin, and then went back or went after Harry, went to Maddie, went after Calvin, went to Harry or Maddie, and then after Joe. So I don't know if that's real or not. That's just something I saw on Twitter, but I think it makes sense, for the narrative of the out of this song. Again, I can't really picture this isn't one I love,
Yeah.
but lyrically, there's some good beats. This is Jack Antonoff again. I think most of the first album is a lot of Jack Antonoff, and more of the second is Aaron Dessner.
Yeah.
It's a little bit how this goes, but this one was kind of sandwiched for me in between 2 songs I really liked. So it got kind of a little bit lost in the shuffle on first listen, I would say. Um,
Yeah. One lyric from this that really stands out to me is at the park where we used to sit on children's swings wearing imaginary rings. That fucked me over a little bit, I can't lie.
Centennial,
There's so much imagery of, like, weddings and, like, engagement
so
in this
much talk.
album, so much more than I expected. Like, we
Yeah.
did, Tortured Poets bingo, me and my friends, and one of my bingos were mentioning a wedding that never happened, And it literally comes up about 6 different times throughout the
So
album, which
often. There
was
is a lyric in, the Tortured Poets Department song that I forgot to
mhm.
bring up, I really loved, where it's like, "You took a ring off my middle finger and put it on the
Yeah,
one. That's the closest
people
I've
put
ever been
wedding
to
rings
my heart
on.
exploding." Yeah.
Yeah,
That one
crazy.
was insane. She really wanted to get married. She still probably really wants to get
Mhm.
married, and I'm heartbroken for her that it just never came up. I'm assuming a lot of the marriage had to do with Joe. I'm assuming she's not wanting to marry Maddie Healy after that short relationship, but we also don't know a lot about that, length of that. We just kinda know
Mhm,
just based on when we found out to when it we found out it ended.
mhm.
So, crazy she brought it up so much.
Yeah.
She also brings up drugs a lot in this album too. That's very weird
So
that she
much.
does.
All my friends smell like weed or little babies, like, what? I love it.
I love her, but this next one,
This is what I've
oh,
been waiting for. I've been waiting to talk about this.
light up. All right, let's talk about it. We knew this one was gonna be a banger. Florence and the
Yeah.
Machine joining Taylor Swift on a track was a recipe for success. We knew it would hit. And I love that she gave Florence. This sounds like a Florence and the Machine song more
Yeah.
than it sounds like a Taylor Swift song. This is produced by Jack and Taylor. I believe Florence also helped produce it as well.
Mhm.
So lyrically, this one is fun. This one has some bangers. A lot of talking about being arrested, so I don't really know
Yeah.
where that's stemming from, but a lot of people are theorizing that because there's Fortnite mentions Florida as well, and the news broke that she had ended things with Joe while she was in Arlington, Texas. There's a mention of Texas in this song, and then immediately goes her tour. She was on tour when it broke. She goes to Florida for her next stop. So a lot of people are theorizing that the news broke, it brought up pain, and then she was in Florida. That's kind
Mhm.
of the theories I see going around revolving the narrative. But as an American, so you work your life away just to pay for a timeshare down in Destin. Destin is so overrated. I don't know if that's what she's trying to say, but that's my opinion. Is that she gets it that you would work your entire life away just to have a timeshare in Destin once a year.
Mhm.
Destin's not that good, y'all. Florida in general ain't that good. It's one hell of a drug, that's for sure. Um, but this one was fun. Florence Welch's verse. Oh my god, was it good?
It's insane.
Barricade in the bathroom with a bottle of wine. Well, me and my ghost, we had a hell of a time. The way she says that, oh, loved it. And there's a lyric in here, and your cheating husband disappeared. Well, no one asked any questions here.
Mm.
So it's almost like Florida's a safe space. What did you
I
think of
don't
this
even
one?
This is, like, probably my second favorite track on the album. I just this is one that I cannot wait to scream in a car.
Yeah,
Like, and I said this so many times this weekend to my friend. I was like, "I can't believe Florence Welch just sounds like that."
yeah,
Like, I can't.
unbelievable. She sounds
And
so good.
their voices together, like, in the bridge where they're, like, have, like, alternate lines and then they're, like, building together, it's like, it actually just fucks me up. Like, I
Oh,
can't.
for sure.
Oh, it's unreal. Yeah, this is I knew this was gonna be a banger because 'cause I'm a huge Florence and the Machine fan. Like, when their album Highest Hope came out, that was my entire Spotify Wrapped that year. Like, South London Forever is one of my favorite songs of all time by Florence and the Machine. So I knew this track was just gonna be so amazing, but this is, like, more than I ever imagined. It's crazy, and I'm obsessed, and
It's a special song, and the production, it does so good. Like, it just sounds so good. Like, the
yeah.
melody
Mhm. It's unreal.
sounds so good, and then you get the
Yeah.
and it's just so different. I love the sound of it. It sounds so rock and roll, yet so Taylor Swift at the same time. And
Yeah.
oh, this is one of my favorites. I don't know how it couldn't be one of your favorites. It's so unique in its own way, and it's a special track. And I'm so glad that we got Florence and Taylor on the
Yeah.
same album. And if Twitter rumors are true, this one's getting a music video. So I
Yeah,
cannot
this
wait
is
for
another
that.
thing. I was going to talk about, because on Florence's story the other day, she posted like a doorway, and it was like Department of Hurricanes and something lace or something, and it looks like it was like another one of the doorways that we got in the promo video for Tortured Poets. You know, when it like went off, so there was like the Midnight room, and you went out, and then there was a Tortured Poets room. I think maybe this will be the next single. Maybe I'm
I
thinking.
believe it. I think this is probably the most summery song she has on this album. And she's gonna want a song out as a single in the summer. That's just because that's a good time for streams. So I think that'll be the one that gets it, and I cannot wait for that music video. My guess is opening week, tour. When tour opens back up again, she'll debut it. I think that's probably what's gonna happen with that. And just while we're on this subject, do you think any other songs besides Florida get a music video? I can see her doing one to I Can Do It With a Broken Heart.
I was gonna say that, but then I think the lyric video she put out for that was perfect, just clips from the Eras tour. I can't picture how else she would make a music
For
video for
me,
that.
it's like almost a mix of me, the music video, and like just kind of the Lover era vibes, because that's what the
Yeah.
track sounds like, but just with chaos happening.
Yeah. Okay. I kind
But
of
I
want
could
to
see
see
her
that.
acting that like a storm. I can just picture it in my head. I have a vision for a music video of that song. But other than that, I'm not totally sure what would get a music video.
No,
Maybe
I really.
Carabao.
Mm,
But then
yeah,
again, I don't know if that has the strength to be a single. So
maybe So High School.
so high school I could see. Yeah.
Just like such a fun video.
Yeah. All right. Well, let's move on. Guilty as sin.
Oh, this is another one where, like, a few hours after the album came out, we were obviously like re-listening to the whole thing, and this was one I was like, I don't remember liking this one this much, but this is a fucking insane song. Like, I am obsessed with this song. Just like all the lyrics in this one as well. Like the "Am I Allowed to Cry?" That was another one of like the
Mhm.
promotional lyrics for the album, but like just I'm reading through them right now. It's like there's no such thing as bad thoughts, only your actions talk. Like what? What?
That's so real though, 'cause the amount of thoughts I be having.
Exactly. Like it's a little too real. I don't know where Taylor hid the cameras for this one, but
There's a
oh
line that we'll talk about where so the song is, "I Hate It Here." I'm just gonna tell this because 'cause we're talking about camera in the room. There's a lyric in there, it's like we play a
mhm.
game about which decade we would go to.
Yeah.
Wow, literally 3 hours, I'm not kidding, I'm not making this up to get clout. Literally 3 hours before the album came out, me and my friend were sitting waiting, bored, and I was just like, "If you could go to any decade, which would you go to?" And we heard that lyric, and we just gave each other, like, a
Like that's too much.
"Where is she at? Where is she
Oh
at?"
my god.
But she really does get us. This song, I love the chorus. "What if
Yeah.
he's written mine on my upper thigh, only in my
Oh
mind?" The way she says
my
that.
mind. Get out. Like just get
"Bye.
out.
Adios."
Also, the one slip and falling back into the hedge maze, oh, what always dies, fucking insane. Like
Mhm.
the like imagery and like the connotations of a maze, like to refer to like a relationship as is crazy.
Yeah. Uh-huh. This is a crazy song. I believe this one was Jack too.
Also, like the Jesus references. Like, what if I
Oh,
roll
yeah.
the stone away? They're gonna crucify me anyway. Fucking
Yeah.
kill me. Like, just kill me. Tay
Yeah,
Jesus.
this was Jack as the producer on this. Um, I love this one, but again, unfortunately, this one got sandwiched in between 2 bangers.
Yeah.
So it a little on first listen and again, it did get a little bit lost in the shuffle for me, but that was all worth it for this next song. Holy cow. I think this is number 2 for me right now on the album as a
Wow.
whole. I am obsessed with Who's Afraid of Little Old Me. The way she screams that, the bridge of this song, this is commentary on her career and
Mhm.
many things. I think this is one of those songs you can't narrow it down to it's about one thing. I think it's just kind of
No.
about her life as a whole. The song is so interesting lyrically. So I leap from the gallows and I levitate down your street,
Oh,
crash
the
the
way
party
she
like a
sings it,
record
like, I
scratch
can't
as I
fucking get over
scream. And
it.
then she sings, "Who's afraid of little old me?" And then the way
And then
she changes the pace,
there should
it's like
be.
a firm, "You should be." Oh my god, it's so good.
Kill me.
Um,
Kill me.
the way the production on this goes to
Mhm.
I love the
It's
build of the production. Um, this is Jack Antonoff's, I think, best on the album, I would say.
yeah.
Um, it's
The
amazing. The
my
production on this
favorite
ruled.
my favorite line from this song is put narcotics into all my songs and that's why you're still singing along because real, you put crack in all of your songs and it's kind of getting to me a little
Yeah.
bit.
Let's talk about this bridge though, because holy
Yeah.
shit. Um, you wouldn't last an hour in the asylum where they raised me, so all you kids can sneak into my house with all the cobwebs. I'm always drunk on my own tears. Isn't that what they all said? That I'll sue you if you step on my lawn. That I'm fearsome and I'm wretched and I'm wrong. And then put narcotics into all of my songs, and that's why you're still singing along. A lot of people think this song could be about Scooter Braun too. I totally see
Mm,
that.
mhm.
Um, Oh my god, I love it. I love it. I love it. The way she says, "I'm always drunk on my own tears" to make the
Oh my
drunk emphasis
god.
sound drunk is amazing. This song just has so much power to it. Like every time I listen to the song, I'm
Okay.
like, "Yeah, you should fucking be afraid of me."
Yeah.
And it just gives me so much like mojo, and I love it.
Mhm.
This is like I said, number 2 on the album. We'll get to my number 1 here in a couple songs. I cannot wait to talk
Mhm.
about that one. But I love this song. This is my mom's favorite song. Shout out Mary Jo Dar. This is her favorite on the
Slay.
album. She loved this
Case.
one.
Case.
So,
Also, I love the tweets that have been going around today
yes.
about the "you wouldn't last an hour in the asylum where they raised me," like all these different things. Hilarious.
What's your
And
asylum where they raised you?
ooh, um, my asylum is this is very niche, but British YouTube in like 2014. Like, if anyone watching ever watched like Zoella and Pointless Blog and like Marcus Butler and Miranda Sings, that era is my asylum. What's yours?
So
Or maybe
mine's
Star
either
Planet.
I was gonna say mine might be Roblox, or
Yeah.
it also could be like the Bart Baker parodies on YouTube. Those or Taylor Swift herself. She raised me.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
or dating apps, man. Those are also
Fair. Fair.
so yeah, I love this song. It's just one of the
It's
most perfect
unreal.
songs on this
Um,
album. It's one I'll be listening to 5 years from now. I
yeah.
feel like it'll stay as one of my favorites from this album for a while. I
Mhm.
love it so much. This was Jack
Also
Antonoff producing his whole pussy into this. I love it.
Antonacy. Also, all the edits of like Who's Afraid of Little Old Me,
Oh,
of
yes.
like Bucky, Yelena,
Wanda.
Natasha, Wanda, like all
Yeah.
that like genre of
Anakin, I
edit.
saw one that went from young Anakin Jake Lloyd to Hayden Christensen, and I was like,
Unreal. The TikTok editors are working overtime this
dude, I
weekend.
saw the Hunger Games one, not even kidding, before I went to bed on release night for the song.
Was it the I'm having his baby?
No, it was the one with Lucy Gray to this song. It was like, "Who's afraid?"
Yeah,
I saw it literally within 2 hours of this song releasing, and I was
that's
like, "No one works faster than the Hunger Games editors." It's, like, crazy.
oh my god.
The edits for this album are going more crazy than usual, and I'm so happy about it because there are so many songs that are so this is probably the most TikTok editable song.
Mhm.
I can fix them, it's pretty TikTok edit
Yeah.
prone.
And Love of My Life, which we'll get to, are fucking me up, but we'll
Yeah.
talk about that in a second.
Yeah.
But
Well,
if
actually, we can go ahead and talk about that right now. Isn't it the next track?
I think we're on I Can
No,
Fix
I
You.
can fix him. No, I really can. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah. This one, again, not what I expected at all.
No.
This sounds like it's very like yeehaw. Like I should be on a ranch
Yeah.
right now. I said this sounds like something that they would put in like a trailer for The Last of Us. Like,
This
that's
for
the vibe I'm
me, this song was the most Evermore song on the album.
getting.
This song gave
Mm,
Evermore so heavily,
yeah.
um, and I loved it. I love this song.
This is great. I don't really have much to say about it because it's one of the ones that I have listened to probably the least. I just know I'm obsessed with it. That's all.
Like you were saying, it wasn't I was thinking of being like really, honestly, all I was picturing for this song was Anakin Skywalker edits.
Me too. Literally, one of my bingo cards that we were talking about earlier, it was someone makes an Anakin Skywalker, I can fix him edit before 10 a.m. And it happened. It happened.
Yep. Um, I love this, and I love how it switches from "I can fix him," "No, really, I can," to
Oh,
"Whoa, maybe I
maybe
can't,"
I can't.
to close out the song, and it was, it's
The
heartbreaking,
chills
but
I
then
got in that moment, like
yeah,
unreal.
this is one I definitely need more time with. I
Yeah,
loved it, but it wasn't gonna be one I was gonna have on repeat. So I need more time to get used to this one. But again, I love the Evermore vibes of it, and I love that conclusion. I feel like it's one of the more meaningful conclusions besides the next song,
yeah.
on the entire album. But then this next song, let's get into LOML.
I don't think I want
Um,
to.
Layla, take it away, babe.
So, okay, if I see one more La La Land edit to this song, I'm gonna kill myself. Like, literally, I cannot do it anymore. One of the things that we were saying, that most people were saying before the song came out is, what is LOML gonna mean? Is it gonna be love of my life, loss of my life, or both? It was both. And the pain I felt in that moment where it changed from love of my life to loss of my life, I was like, "Oh, she did it. She really went there. Like, she did this to us. I can't believe it." Um, the lyrics in this one.
I wanna talk about one. You and
Yeah.
I go from one kiss to getting married, still alive, killing time at the cemetery, never quite buried.
Please just kill
Oh.
me off at this point. I need to be put down.
Yeah. You blew in with the winds of fate, and I told me I reformed you when your impressionist paintings of heaven turned out to be fakes. Pain. Pain, pain. This song is straight pain. This is one of the saddest songs on the album. Has
Yeah.
sad vibes. It was not really an upbeat moment in the song. Um,
Also, the one of the lyrics that really fucked me over was are they secondhand embarrassed that I can't get out of bed because something counterfeits dead? What do you mean? Because
and then
something counterfeits dead. Like, just
fake. Something fake is dead.
I
And,
can't. I can't. Because that's so real. That something
yeah.
fake is dead. Like, why are you so? Why am I so like down bad over something that was fake?
And I'll still see it until I die. You're the loss of my life is how this song ends. In pain, in pain, in pain, in pain. I believe this was produced by Aaron Dessner, and
Because of
this
course
was
it fucking was.
yeah. If there's a painful Taylor Swift song, you can probably guess who it's
Yeah.
produced by. But this one hurt. I love this one. First listen, this one really like took me out of my good vibes. That there weren't very good vibes at this point, to be honest. But
But
all
then
that
we
were
go to
left
the
were
next
killed.
track.
And then we get to the next song, and I go from no vibes to psychotic as fuck vibes.
I can handle my shit.
Every time I listen to this song, I feel extremely psychotic, and I think that's valid of me. So, I Can Do With a Broken Heart was produced by Jack Antonoff, and I read the song title, and I went to listen to it on my Spotify, like
Mhm.
I normally do, and I saw happy clips from the Eras tour, and I was like, "Oh, fuck me." Um, this was a song that low-key impacted me the most. As a
Yeah.
fan of Taylor Swift and as someone who attended the Eras tour, I felt bad for going after listening to this song. And I felt bad for being so happy there, and we had no idea what she was going through at that time.
Yeah, it's crazy.
And she was really, really going through it. There's some lines in here that are just wild. They said, "Babe, you gotta make it. Fake it until you make it," and I did. Um, Breaking down, I hit the floor. All the pieces of me shattered as the crowd was chanting more. And my favorite part of the song is the outro, where the production picks up, goes up a little bit, very Tame Impala-y, and she says, "'Cause I'm miserable."
And no one even
And
knows.
nobody even knows. And I'd scream that shit every time I've heard this song. Also, there's a very weird comment at the end. It's like, try and come for my job.
Yeah.
Who's coming for her job?
No one. No
No
one,
one's
girl.
close. But I love this song. I love that the lyrics are so like, I'm so depressed. I want to die. I cry a lot. I'm shattering into
I
pieces.
cry a lot, but I am so productive. This is probably the most like seen I've ever felt in a song.
No, same. That's what I said. I was telling you before we recorded this. This is the most relatable song on the album.
Yeah.
And what does that say about me?
It's the birthday line. 'Cause like I fucking hate my birthday. It's the worst day of the year. And like I'm so depressed I act like it's my birthday every day. Like what how did you like cut into my brain and pull that lyric out?
Fake it like the fake it till you make it line is so real because I be doing that so often.
Yeah.
Pretend shit's not going on when it is, and I just kind of ignore it and get shit done.
And also like
And
I was hitting my marks. Like it's 'cause like you're doing everything you're supposed to be
yes,
doing,
and
but
that's
like
another
there's
thing I
so
want
much going on.
to talk about. Marks should also be interpreted as like dancing, and like she was like
Yeah.
that's obviously a hint towards the Eras tour. A lot of this is hints towards the Eras tour,
Yeah.
especially the production. Because at points in the song, if you listen carefully, you can hear Jack Antonoff going 1, 2, 3, 4 in her ear, and
And
the
like
beat of the song itself is like her in ear that she would wear during the Eras tour. And oof, yeah, this song was wild. The beat is so like little
yeah, like
fairy, little
la la
party
la la la
song.
la la
Yeah,
la la.
and then the lyrics are like.
Yeah.
I love this song though, and I love it for that. I think it really
Oh,
helps
it's
like
in my top
further her
3.
narrative. Because it's like you have this song talking about how you can push through things even when you're really going through it, and you can still be the star that she is. And the beat is like showing the happiness comparison to the sad lyrics and how she kind of has to feel. And the song kind of does the same way. It feels more happy. It feels more upbeat because of its beat, but the narrative of the song is a lot more sad.
Yeah.
I really like the design choices here. I think Jack Antonoff killed it with this one. I think they both killed it. I love the contrast they worked here. I want to say this is honestly one of the more better narrative built songs on this album.
100%.
But speaking of
Unreal.
narrative,
Ugh.
this is my favorite song in the album. The Smallest Man Who Ever Lived. This is Matty Healy's All Too Well. This is his Dear John. And this is honestly, I think this is the most violent I think I've ever heard her be in a song. I think this
Yeah.
is worse than those, to be honest. She really came for this motherfucker in this song. Was any of it true? Gazing at me starry-eyed in your Jehovah's Witness suit. Who the fuck was that guy? Oh, the Jehovah's Witness suit kind of gives it away. That it was probably aimed towards Matty Healy. I mean, it could be Joe. Joe was wearing a suit, but who performs in suits?
Yeah.
You tried to buy from pills from a friend of friends of mine. They just ghosted you. Now you know what it feels like. Ouch. And the chorus of the song, oh my god. And I don't even want you back. I just want to know, was rusting my sparkling summer was a goal? And I don't miss what we had, but could someone give a message to the smallest man who ever lived? I love the way she works the title into the song. Because when you first read this title, you're like, that's a long title. And it's kind of like, because there's a couple of those on here where I'm like, curious to see how she works this into the song.
Yeah.
This one's seamless. This one is perfect. And there's so many
bridge.
other little, the bridge. And yeah,
Can
we'll
we
get into that in a
talk about
second.
the
We'll get
fucking
into that in 1 second. Because there's still some lyrics on here that I want to talk about. You hung me on your wall and stabbed me with your pushpins. In public showed me off and then sank in stoned oblivion. Because once your queen had come, you treat her like an also-ran. You didn't measure up in any measure of a man. Holy cow.
Like what?
They also ran confused me at first. I was kind of like, what does that mean? And I was kind of looking into it and I'm thinking about it more. I think it means like a runner-up almost. Because like it also ran. Like, I don't know. That was my best guess on what that means. It doesn't mean he treated her well. I can tell you that much. She was treated kind of like almost like a second place type thing.
Yeah.
Let's talk about the bridge. I don't have time to talk about anything else.
I can't. Were you
Were you
sent
sent
by
by
someone who
someone who
wanted
wanted
me
me
dead?
Did you sleep with a gun underneath our bed? This whole bridge is the most stream-worthy thing on the album. It's, I want to say, one of her better bridges of all time. I was saying this on release night. It honestly might jump straight to my T Swift top 10. This is one of my favorite songs of hers I've ever heard. I love songs that build, and what this builds to is, oh my god, it's perfection. Were you
I
writing
would
a
have
book?
died.
Were you sent by a sleeper cell spy? In 50 years, this all be declassified, and you'll confess why you did it, and I'll say good riddance, because it wasn't sexy. Once it wasn't forbidden, I would have died for your sins. Instead, I just died inside. And you deserve prison, but you won't get time. You'll slip into inboxes and slip through the bars. You crashed my party in your rental car. You said normal girls were boring, but you were gone in the morning. You kicked out the lights, but you're still performing. And in plain sight, you hid, but you are what you did. And I'll never forgive. I'll forget you, but I'll never forgive the smallest man who ever lived. That bridge is some of the best lyrics I've ever heard. Ever. And there's so much to unpack in them. Layla, pick something to unpack.
I don't know. I don't know. It's just the, like, fucking, were you sent by someone
Who wanted me dead?
The you kicked out the stage lights, but you're still performing is, like, why? I can't. I don't even have words. I don't have words. I need to be put
The
down.
lyric that probably hit for me the most was, and you deserve prison, but you won't get time. And that's like, men never have to account for their actions.
Yeah.
And I think that's what that line's referring to. And oh my god, I just love the way she delivers the last part too. And in plain sight you hid, but you are what you did. But you are what you did is one of my favorite lines in the whole
You are
album.
what you did, yeah.
And
It's a lot.
it according to Genius, it ties back into a line from Innocent from Speak Now. That stated, who you are is not what you did. You're still an innocent.
Oh my god, I didn't even, like,
And
make
when I
that
read that, I
connection.
was like, holy shit. Because now she changed it from who you are is not what you did to but you are what you did. Oh, and that's what I was talking about earlier when I was like, she references so many other songs, and there's so many little Easter eggs to past songs that they're hard to even like catch up on all of them. But I know that was intentional because everything she does is. And ugh. And so I went back and listened to Innocent and then this right away. And also, eek. Not a great idea. But this is Aaron Dessner. One of the best songs I've ever heard Taylor Swift put out.
Yeah.
I'll first listen. I was listening to The Alchemy and Clara Bow, which are next, but I had to re-listen to those after the album because that's like the next two songs. This is all I could think about. Like, it was like, it's up there with hearing My Tears Ricochet and All Too Well for the first time. Like, hearing those crazy songs, that's what I felt listening to this song.
Yeah.
Easily my favorite song on this album. I cannot put into words how much I love this song. And there's a little detail at the very beginning of the song. It's just a
Oh no. When there's a quivering breath in a Taylor Swift song, you know you're in for a rough time.
Yeah. This one affected me more than the other song on first listen. It's still my favorite song from this album. This is up there with surprise songs I need in my life.
Yeah.
So yeah, loved it.
Unreal. Wow.
But next
we move
up,
on
our first
to
song about a certain guy.
The Alchemy. The Alchemy. Okay, we said last week. Was it last week? In our last episode,
Yeah, we were,
like, do we think there'll be any Travis songs?
and we were kind of like, no,
And
maybe, no. Yeah.
No. Two
Two.
of them. Two fucking, like, I feel like I'm like 15 years old, giggling, kicking my feet. listening to these songs.
And this is
That
one where if you're not listening to the lyrics, you could have missed that it was about Travis, just based on
yeah.
it's kind of like a more somber song than more so than So High School.
Mhm.
But this one, oh, I loved it.
It's like, what's the one lyrics about, like, "Where's the
Where's the
trophy? He
trophy?
just
He's
comes
running to
running
me.
over to
Yeah,
me.
yeah.
Kill me."
There's also a lot. She says, "So when I touch down,"
Yeah.
um, so obviously, I don't. She's not referring to touchdown, 7 points, but
Mhm.
she is at the same time. Um, and call the amateurs and cut them from the team. Ditch the
Yeah.
clowns and get the crowns. Baby, I'm the one to beat.
It's unreal.
There's also a song about trying to be the best in the league. Uh, yeah, that's right before the trophy lyric. There was no chance trying to be the greatest in the league. Where's the trophy? He just comes running over to me. Obviously, this is about Travis Kelce, and it sounds like it was written at the Super Bowl, which,
Yeah.
ladies and gentlemen, was like barely 2 months ago, and we have a fully written and produced banger on this album.
No.
Like, she works harder than I could ever.
I
But
don't even
I
know
was
what to
very
say.
surprised getting a Travis song on this album.
Yeah. I was so set on, "No, there's not gonna be any Travis songs. It's too early. It's too soon. She's not ready to show that part of her life yet." And then that fucking video she posted the other day of, like, the clips of the two of them together, like, while she's cooking and, like, he's just, like, there and, like, all the videos of them from Coachella, it's just, like, it makes me so,
The
like
Coachella videos were wild. Did you see
it
the one of them two, and Taylor was standing in front of Travis, and then right in front of them was Barry Keoghan and Sabrina
and
Carpenter,
Sabrina.
and all their heights literally went perfectly
Yeah.
like steep, and so it looked like they looked like the Russian dolls. It was so funny.
I love them so much. It's so funny.
I also love that she showed up for Ice Spice.
Yeah.
And then there's a video of when Ice Spice sang Karma and Taylor Swift screaming the lyrics to Karma. Like she didn't make the fucking song.
Like, Taylor Swift finally got to see, like, a Taylor Swift song performed.
I know
It's
she's a
crazy.
Swiftie. Taylor Swift is a Swiftie, guys.
Yeah.
And speaking of Taylor Swift, listening to
Oh my
songs about
god.
Taylor Swift,
Oh my god.
let's talk about Clara Bow.
This was
Um,
an unreal experience listening to this for the
this
first
is one of
time.
my, I think this is one of my favorite narrative songs on this album. And it talks
Mhm.
about, it's almost similar to the Lucky One from Red,
Yeah.
where it's like living in the spotlight type of vibe. And it was how, especially female artists, get compared. And it goes
Mhm.
from Clara Bow, who was a silent film star in the 1900s, to Stevie Nicks, the lead singer of Fleetwood Mac,
Mhm.
to Taylor Swift, who is
Oh,
obviously of our generation.
yeah.
And I love the narrative of it. Starts with I was compared to like living in the spotlight. She establishes that with Clara Bow. And then
Yeah.
she kind of writes herself into it with talking about how she was compared to Stevie Nicks. And then she starts talking about how it's going to keep continuing to the future generation. And then
Mhm.
she says, "You look like Taylor
Taylor
Swift."
Swift.
And I was like, "Did she just name drop herself?"
Literally, what the fuck? I was like, "Huh?" Like,
And
what?
honestly, it made Clara Bow, I think, name dropping herself. The way she says
Mhm.
her own name is so
It's
satisfying. It's healing. And also the TikTok audio workers made fast because now we have Taylor Swift, fearless.
fearless. Oh my god, yeah.
So now it's complete. All the Infinity.
Oh, you're muted.
My AirPods died, but yeah. Um, Clara Bow is one of my favorite from the album. It wasn't one I was sure on at first, but the more I
Mhm.
listened to it, I really, really loved it.
Yeah. Also, like, all of, like, especially at the start, you, like, picked, like, a rose and, like, all your life, like, might die if it happened. Just, like, the like, being picked and then, like, the flowers dying and, like, all of just, like, there's so much to unpack. It's just fucking
Also,
unreal.
there was another lyric that she released in the Day of Solar Eclipse that came from this
Oh,
song that is
yeah.
crowd goes wild at her finger clips. fingertips, not clips,
Finger
half
clip.
moonshine, a full eclipse. Great lyric. But the one thing that the MCU lovers, not me,
Promise to be dazzling.
yeah, she talks about dazzling. I wish I was an MCU lover because then I could be excited. But
No more MCU.
oh yeah, by the way, I forgot to mention The Smallest Man Who Ever Lived is about Bo DeMaio and Kevin Feige. Sorry.
Oh my god.
If you're confused what that means, watch last 10 minutes of last week's episode. Um, anyways, it says the future is bright, dazzling. Obviously, we've talked about it on this podcast. It's been talked about so many places. It's rumored that Taylor Swift will be playing Dazzler in upcoming MCU's Deadpool and Wolverine. And I know what people are saying, but in a poster today, there was Wolverine and there was Deadpool's hands. Wolverine had his 3 claws out, and Deadpool on the left had 1 finger touching the 3 claws. 13 bitches. And then Sean
Also,
decides to put a little post out. He said the prophecy.
change the prophecy.
She's in this damn movie.
It's pretty suspicious to me.
She's in this movie. There's so many clues. There's no way she's not in the movie. And we're getting a trailer tomorrow at day of recording. So by the time this episode's out, she may have been announced or teased. So
what are we gonna do with ourselves if she's in the fucking trailer? Like, we haven't even talked about this, but like, what happens? What happens then?
Driving our cars off bridges or something.
That's it. No
Maybe
more
I'll
Fandom
consider
Academy.
rejoining MCU fandom if Taylor Swift is in the
Is that what it'll take to get you back?
Maybe, yeah. That's my offer. Because I'm so serious, guys. I said last week I wasn't gonna watch X-Men 97. I haven't. I don't even know what
haven't
happened.
either.
I haven't looked to see what happened. I haven't. I gave up. I'm boycotting. So I hope their numbers went down so they know what they did.
You are what you did, but Amaya.
Yeah. Yeah. That's my message to the smallest man who ever lived.
Okay, back on track.
We're already having a long ass episode. We're already at an hour, and we haven't even touched the second album yet. So let's get to that.
Well, 2 hours later, little Miss Taylor decides to be like, "Hey guys, by the way, it's actually a double album."
And we had been teased all day. We're like, peace sign here, peace sign here. Oh, at 10 o'clock they posted, how many hours for Torture Post Apartment? 2. And we were all like, the fuck does that mean? And obviously, you know what? I feel no bad. I don't feel as bad for anyone on this planet, except like people in actual like danger, than like Reputation Swifties.
Yeah.
Immediately, I was like, "Oh my gosh, he's dropping Reputation!"
No,
and I don't know if
let
I should
it
feel
go
bad for them because they always just clown so hard.
Yeah.
But also, she plays into it so hard.
She does not help them.
So feel bad for them. I never once thought it was gonna be Reputation because I just think that would be a horrible, horrible marketing tool to drop 2 completely different albums. But that's kind of what she did. But they were kind of just made one mega album. And I love the way that she waited 2 hours. That way,
give us time.
Because also we needed a break. I feel like it's really hard to listen to 31, 2 and 2. I think the totality of the 31 songs is 2 hours and 2 minutes. That's a long time to be listening to songs. So I'm glad that she gave us a little break in between.
Yeah.
I didn't listen to them the same night. I listened to the next morning because by the time that those had released, I was still up, but I was expecting maybe like 2 or 3 more songs, kind of like a midnight 3 a.m. edition where I could listen to the 5 songs and then go to bed. And then I saw 15. I was like, nah, I can't just stay up till 4 in the morning over this. I had to go to bed. But let's kick things off with The Black Dog, which is an actual bar.
Ooh.
And no one knows who went into the bar, but I saw all the comments under the bar's TikTok where they posted the lyrics to the song outside. Show us the security footage. Was it Joe or Maddie? Who went in with her?
This song is crazy.
Yeah.
Like the finding out that someone was like potentially cheating because they didn't turn their location off. Fuck.
Yeah. Yeah, that's the first
Crazy.
verse. It goes, "I am someone who until recent events you shared your secret with, and your location,
Mhm.
you forgot to turn it off. And so I watch as you walk into some bar called the Black Dog and pierce new holes in my heart."
Mhm.
The Black Dog, who the hell walked in there? Please let me
I
know.
need to know. I need to know.
I don't care if it goes against HIPAA or, like, your morals. Show me.
Just
Show
give me
me.
the fun edge. Also, I love this song so much because of one very specific line and the way it is sung. Old habits die screaming. Like the way she fucking screams screaming. Like kills me.
I
Kills me.
I just can't put into words how much I fucking love this album. This is one of the songs that really I just am in love with. I've listened to this one on repeat. Yeah, I loved it. I don't really have it deep dived into these lyrics yet, other than the fact that
No.
someone walked into the Black Dog with either Joe or Matt. T.
T.
I always
I'm
want
gonna
to say
be honest.
his name. I don't know
Huh?
why. I always want to say Matt and forget the E.
Matt.
Matt.
That makes him sound like so much more of a douche.
Yeah. I also love the line right before the outro where it's because tail between your legs, you're leaving. Like he
Mhm.
was like, you know what a dog does when they're embarrassed or they're
Yeah.
ashamed or
Yeah.
scared. You put their tail between their legs. So
Oh, were you embarrassed? Are you embarrassed?
womp womp.
Let me pull out my tiny violin. One thing I will do a disclaimer right now. The anthology songs I'm not that familiar with. There's two that I'm like I can do a deep
Yeah,
dive into, but the rest of them I've just been like trying to get to grips with them.
yeah,
To be
same.
honest.
There's only a couple. I'd say I'm familiar with the Black Dog, really good.
Mhm.
So High School, I Hate It Here. Of
Mhm.
course, Thank You, Amy.
Thank you, Amy is gonna be a big one to talk
Yeah.
about.
A lot of lore there, and I really like the manuscript as well, and I love
Mhm.
Peter. Um,
Peter, I have so much to say.
so how about we just talk about the ones that we
Yeah.
yeah, let's do
I
that.
I do quickly want to mention I'm gonna get you back. Fucking bop.
Yeah,
Like that's another one I've been like dancing around to, but yeah. Which one do you want to talk about first?
I wanna talk about So High School.
Yeah.
This
Yeah.
is the most, like, eek! Like, it's a happy song. Like, it's a happy song on such a torture
Yeah.
album. We got, like, a little there's this line in here that I think it's the bridge. I love the way she says the bridge. "Truth, dare, spin, bottles, you know how to ball, I know Aristotle, brand
Oh,
new, full throttle, touch me while your bros play Grand Theft
Grand Theft
Auto."
Auto.
The way she rhymes fucking Aristotle to Grand Theft Auto.
Literally, shut up. Shut up.
And then there's such a wild line that comes next. "It's true, swear, scouts, honor, you know what you wanted and boy you got her." Do you know what the scouts honor sign looks like?
No.
Doesn't that add a whole new layer to the song?
Oh my god.
But yeah,
Oh
this is
my
one of my
god.
favorite songs on the whole album, to be honest. I just love the bridge and the way she says it.
The bridge is so cunty. Is like the
Yeah.
only thing I can say.
It's like the uh,
Mm,
uh,
mm, 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 mm. Unreal.
I love it. It's so good. And this one's about Travis. It's
Yeah.
pretty obvious. You know Ball, I know Aristotle. Um, I feel like laughing in the middle of practice. Do that impression you did of your dad again. So maybe she went to his practice or his her practice. I don't know. But I
Unreal.
love him. She's turning him into an American Girl too, because I'm watching American Pie with you on a Saturday night. Also, your friends are around, so be quiet. I'm trying to stiffen my size. She is so crazy for that. She is so
That
wild.
is insane.
This is the horniest song on this album, for sure.
Touch me where you must play Grand Theft
Death
Auto.
Meadow. Oh my god, I love it.
Unreal.
This song is just like the versatility that Taylor Swift has to go from a
Mhm.
whole bunch of songs about being miserable to
Yeah.
this song. This
To
song is
this.
so much fun. This is the most fun song on the album.
Yeah.
This is one you wanna drive with the windows down to. Watch me while your boys play
Mhm.
Grand Theft Auto. It's
Yeah.
I love
Yeah.
this one so much. This is one of my favorites from the whole album. What do you feel about "So High School"? That is so fearless of her.
Such good vibes. This is probably, like, in my top maybe, like, top 8 songs. It's just so, like, mhm, 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 mhm. I love it so much. Oh, I just love good vibes, Taylor.
I know. This is one of I can't put it into words how much I love this song, and that bridge,
Yeah.
that damn bridge has been in my head.
Unreal.
Also, the verse in here, "Are you gonna marry, kiss, or kill me?"
The video.
Yeah.
The video.
Yeah, she saw it, she's aware, and she's like, "It's really just a game. I'm
Yeah.
betting on 3 for us 2. I'm betting on all 3 for us 2."
Crazy.
She's
I
betting on
don't
getting married to Travis, and this reminded me actually of a point from another song I wanted to bring up, from, uh, "Are You Afraid of Little Old Me?" "You Don't Get to Tell Me About Sad." We all know the video of Joe Alwyn saying that to her at the restaurant.
Yeah.
So, that and then also around the subject of Travis, I texted this to Layla, um, there's a line in there, it's like high school things, what did it say? And it was in the Alchemy, she said, "That child's play back in school is forgiven under my rule." That could be in reference to there was allegations that
Yeah.
Travis cheated. Obviously, I am not one to say he did or didn't. I don't know.
Mhm.
Travis Kelce, he doesn't know me.
We
Um,
weren't there.
that could be in reference to because I did see that as a criticism kind of at first. People were saying that, "Why could you be with a cheater?"
Yeah.
I think that's her saying it's new, and, like, that's in the past, and I think that's
Mhm.
real of her,
Yeah.
to address that. But unless you have anything else to add on "So High School."
I don't, but I really, 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 really need to talk about Thank You, Amy.
Yeah, let's go ahead and talk about "Thank You, Amy." This was the biggest shocker of the album for me. I did not think we were
Mhm.
getting a Kim Kardashian diss track, and
In the year of 2024.
once those second tracks came out and I saw "Thank You, Amy," I was like, "Why are those random letters capitalized?"
Yeah.
And I looked
I was
into it,
like, "Who the fuck is Amy?"
I was like, let's talk about some of the lyrics in this one. This is, the nicest "fuck you" I've ever heard in my life.
Yeah.
It's honestly such a fearless song, like, in terms of vibes. It gives
Mhm.
fearless era, um, except with a
But
lot of flex in it.
also just all of, like, like, the implications of her building back her reputation and,
Yeah,
like, while you were throwing punches, I was, like, building a legacy that you'll never be able to undo. Oh my god. Oh
and
my
that's
god.
kinda talked about screamed, "Fuck you, Amy," to the night sky as the blood was gushing, but I can't forget the way you made me heal.
Mhm.
And I talk about this every time I hear, "Look what you made me do."
Yeah.
The old Taylor died when the whole Kim
Mhm.
Kanye stuff happened, and
Yeah.
she's really become such a different person since then, and I think this song's kind of her way of being like, "You guys, as much as you tore me down, you
Mhm.
also built me back up through the growth
Yeah.
you forced me to go through." And I thought that was so good, in the fucking bridge where she says, um, what is it? "And so I changed your name, and then you reeled the finding clues, and one day your kid comes home singing a song that only us 2 is gonna know is about you."
Yeah.
Oh my
Because North used was it Karma in one of their
I
TikToks?
don't know the exact song, but I know that she used a Taylor Swift song, and it was like,
Yeah.
"Oh my gosh."
Yeah.
North has talked about how she likes Taylor Swift too, and Kim has talked
Yeah.
about it, and I think this is so wild. Also, can we talk about the line about Andrea Swift?
Everyone knows my mother is a saintly woman, but she used to say how she wishes you were dead.
Yeah, because
What?
also the use of saint. Kim has a
Yes.
son named Saint.
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh, she's so good, and I she I wonder if she asked Andrea before she published this.
Like, "Mum, do you mind me saying that you, wished Kim Kardashian was dead that one time?" But also, like, it's so real, like, I saw someone say that, like, never ever, like, be shocked about, like, what comes out of a mother's mouth when it comes to her children and, like, what
Yeah,
like, if someone was like if imagine being in Andrea's situation, someone's doing this to your child, like, the one person that means everything to you in your life, and, like, she's being torn down like this, like, of course you're gonna be like, "Oh, fucking die, Kim," you
yeah.
know?
I also love the verse that goes, "And it wasn't a fair fight or a clean kill each time that Amy stomped across my grave," and then she wrote headlines,
Yeah.
in the local paper laughing at each baby step I'd take, and it was always the same searing pain, but I prayed that one day I could say, and then it goes into the chorus where it's like, "All
Mhm.
that time you were throwing punches, but I was built in
Mhm.
something, and I
Yeah.
couldn't wait to show you it was real." I love this song. I think
Also, this sorry, go ahead.
no, I just say it's the most fun diss track I've ever heard ever.
Also, just the switch up from, like, "Fuck you, Amy" to "Thank you, Amy," because it's like,
Yeah.
"Fuck you because you did this, but also thank you because I remade my life,"
I
basically.
cannot wait for the next season of The Kardashians where we hear Kim's reaction to
What
this.
would happen if you just called
Let's
Taylor up?
go up. I also love that there's a clip of Kris Jenner talking about how she loves Taylor Swift's mom.
Yeah, and now she's wishing death upon her child.
It's so funny. This lore is crazy, and there's so many reactions I just wanna see. I wanna see what Kim really thinks about this song. I
Yeah.
also wanna hear Charlie Puth's reaction. I've been waiting for Charlie Puth to say something all week. So, she also named let's just talk about the name drops right now. She didn't name drop Kim, but she
Mm.
basically did. She name dropped Charlie Puth, name dropped Jack Antonoff, name dropped Lucy Dacus.
Lucy?
Yeah. She was name dropping, name dropped herself. So,
Yeah, crazy.
I loved it for her. I love this song. What can I say? This song was definitely one of the more lore-heavy songs we've got on the album,
Yeah.
but I love Taylor Swift lore, so I ate it up. And I was every time a line was said in this song, I was, like, gasping. I was like I was watching a reality TV show. I love it.
Mhm.
Maybe one day they'll be able
Crazy.
to make amends.
Mm.
Maybe.
Maybe?
Her and Katy Perry did it. Nothing's impossible. I
Well, okay, I guess,
feel
I
like that
guess.
situation wasn't nearly as bad.
Imagine if one day we just wake up and there's a picture of Taylor and Kim just, like, being
The way I'll
besties.
pass away.
Yeah.
The way if that there's no beef I can overcome. If they can overcome that, there's nothing in my life I can't
Or
overcome.
imagine, like, Kim takes North to the Eras Tour.
That would break the world. Who wasn't was it Kendall that was there with Timothy?
I think
I
y
think that's the one Timmy's with?
yeah.
Yeah. I remember that gossip ruckus too. I always forget which one's which, so I don't remember who's dating Timmy.
Oh, Kylie's dating
Kylie.
Timmy,
So it was Kylie
but
and
Kendall was dating Bad Bunny.
yeah, so it was Kylie and Timmy there. And I remember that was
Yeah,
like, wow.
crazy.
So crazy. Well, let's talk about yours. Big track. You keep singing
Yeah.
about how much you love this song. Let's talk about Peter.
Yeah, I don't know what it is, but for the last, like, 24 hours, Peter has been, like, on repeat for some reason. One of this is, like, a very I think this is just something, like, inner child, because one of my favorite films growing up was Peter Pan: The Return to Neverland. So it's, like, when it's Wendy's daughter, Jane, who ends up going with Peter Pan to Neverland. That was, like, one of my favorite films, and I watched it, like, most days. Um I'm a sucker for a Peter Wendy reference,
Yeah.
Peter losing Wendy was referenced in Folklore, one of, like, the most insane parts of the song ever.
Hard again. Yeah, that
Um,
song hits.
yeah, it's just like the set you said you were gonna grow up and come and find me. It's like you needed to take a break and, like, mature and then go back and find this person, and it's like you said you were gonna do it, but
You
you
never did.
didn't, like, you never came back. And it's just like, oh.
And I think Peter Pan, the story, is such like a
Mhm.
great storytelling advice. I think Maisie Peters has a song out called Wendy,
Yeah.
which talks about similar things. Um,
Yeah.
you just have the idea of the boy who never grows up and the girl who has to,
Yeah.
and that will never change. So I love that she went back to this after Cardigan because number one, that Cardigan line was crazy, and
Mhm.
I think it's interesting that that line came. I almost as foreshadowing this song, but in that one, it was like fictional. It's telling the story of the teenage love triangle. In this sense, it's almost like her poetry,
Mhm.
Cardigan, almost became her life, and I think that
Yeah.
is kind of wild. Um,
It's insane.
I love the I just love this song. I love the idea of it. I also love how it's kind of slower too.
Yeah.
I just appreciate the song so much. Love it.
It's so great. It's definitely gonna end up being one of my favorites. And it's just like the whole like like I left the light on and like but like now I've turned it off. Like I've given up on that one hope of you coming back. It's just like please just like rip my heart out and stomp on it because I'm so done. I'm
It's
so done.
wild. And unless you have anything else to say, I want to talk about I Hate It Here.
Yes,
This
go
song is
for it.
very Phoebe Bridgers. Um,
Mm,
I love this song. It gives that Punisher vibe from Phoebe. I love
very.
it. And I was talking about earlier, the whole decades thing kind of hit, and also it's real because guess what? I hate it here too. So
We all hate it here.
it's I love the line, quick, quick, tell me something awful like you are a poet trapped inside the body of a finance guy. I think it's so funny and I love it.
Also, what's the line? Oh, I hate here, so I will go to secret gardens in my mind.
Yeah.
Me when I read fan fiction. Like,
And
just get me out.
there's also another really funny line, and this is giving Casey Musgraves this line right here. Which that was talking about the decades we wish we could live in instead of this. I'd say the 1830s, but without all the racists and getting married off for the highest bid. I was like, all right.
She was getting ripped for that on Twitter as well. People were like, there's no way that's a real lyric.
And that reminded me of a line from Dinner with Friends by Casey Musgraves from her most recent album, Deeper Well, where she's like my home state of Texas, the dogs there, the horses, but none of their laws. It's just like
Yeah.
you would need to clarify. Really funny. I always giggle when I hear stuff like that.
Yeah.
But yeah, this song's really good. It's just kind of it's nothing like super mind-boggling. It's just a really solid, good listen to song that like is real.
Hmm.
The bridge, I'm lonely, but I'm good. I'm bitter, but I swear I'm fine. I'll save all my romanticism for my inner life. Um, hopeless romantic core as fuck.
Yeah,
And yeah, I love this track. I think it's one of the better ones on the second album too.
definitely. Also, before we kind of wrap this up, I want to give a shout out to How Did It End? And like the first line, like, I hereby conduct this postmortem. The way she says it, like the whole vibe of this song is just like, fuck.
Yeah.
Like, oh, crazy. I
But
just had to
yeah,
shout that one out.
yeah, of course. Well, this album rules. As a whole, I was blown away. And I think what draws me so much to it, it almost feels like first listen to Folklore, where
Yeah,
it's just so wildly different from anything else she's put out. I've seen people
yeah.
saying it's like Folklore and I think my favorite tweet I saw, and it's so real, is that Folklore and Evermore gave birth to a child, but Midnight's raised it. And that's what
Mm-hmm.
this album is. I was like,
That's so
you know
real.
what? That's so, so real. And I love that every album is so unique in its own right. Like,
Mm-hmm.
there's not an album that's like, that's very similar to this. Just like, even just looking through her discography, I'd say the most similars are probably like Debut and Fearless.
Yeah.
Like, those are the only ones that didn't show a almost like a genre shift.
Mm-hmm.
And she loves doing that, and I think this one was almost a blend of the synth pop we got in Midnights with the lyricist of Folklore, And I loved it so much. But there's also a little bit of Fearless in there as well, with like some country vibes and just the way she wrote her lyrics, and the
Yeah.
anger there. I don't get the people who said this was a mix of Red and Rep. Um,
Mm-mm.
Not at all.
No.
Not at all. That is
Not in the slightest. I don't get any of those
number
vibes
one,
at
I
all.
can't imagine what that sounds like, and after listening to this album,
Yeah.
definitely not this. So,
No.
maybe that'll be her next one, who knows? But I'd say top 5 on this album, we can do that before we close.
Yeah.
This is gonna be tough. I'm going to say number 1, I'm gonna give to,
Mhm.
Smallest Man Who Ever Lived. You?
Mhm. My number one is gotta be But Daddy I Love Him.
Valid, valid. Alright,
Yeah.
let's do number 2s. I'm putting, Who's Afraid of Little Old Me?
I'm gonna go Florida.
Valid. Oh
Mhm.
gosh, this is getting hard now. 3, So Long London.
Okay, my number 3 is gonna be Who's Afraid of Little Old Me.
Alright, 2 more to go. There's some songs.
Oh no, this is really hard.
Ah, um, Song 4, I'm debating between, like, 4 here. I don't know how I'm gonna put all of these on here. I can fix it. No, 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 I can do it with the Broken Heart. I can do it with the Broken Heart.
Yeah, that's also my number 4. I can do it with a broken heart for sure.
Oh, this is gonna be the hardest one.
Oh
5
no.
is okay, so I'll tell you my options. It's between
Mhm.
My Boy Only Breaks His Favorite Toys,
Mhm.
Florida,
Mhm.
um, Clairbout, and So
Mhm.
High School. I think I'm
Mhm.
gonna give it to Clairbout.
Ooh, okay. My number 5 is gonna be recency bias, and it's gonna be Peter, but it would have been So High School, probably.
This is so hard to choose. There's so many
Oh
good songs. And I'm sure we'll be talking about this for a week. Tune in next week.
no. Mhm.
Jaden can get his thoughts out. It won't be as in depth as us. Maybe at some point once we get more familiar with the second album, because
Yeah,
it's so hard to process 31 songs in
it's a
3 days.
lot.
But maybe we can give you some more in depth there once we get used to it more. Shout out to the manuscript too. I do really like that one.
Yeah.
But tune in next week. I'm sure we'll have stuff to talk about. We'll have a Deadpool trailer to talk about. Hopefully, more news. I don't know. Also,
Maybe challenges. We might have seen
oh,
challenges
I'm seeing
by then.
challenges tomorrow at time of
There
recording,
we go.
actually. So yeah, we'll talk about that. Also, I won't get in depth now, but I must shout out that Hitman got a new trailer and Glenn Powell's like, oh, damn goofy. So I love it. But yeah, Layla, where can the people find you?
You can find me anywhere at Falcons Nat. Stream the Tortured Poets Department. I think it might hit the billion streams in first week of release.
Oh my god, the stats it hit. Can we talk about that for a second? Hold up.
Yeah. Yeah.
Before we wrap up, let me talk about that because I saw a tweet the day of, and it was a Cowboy Carter Stan account. It
I know
tweeted,
exactly what you're gonna say.
it quote tweeted the Spotify's tweet that Beyonce set the record for most streams in one day in 2024 for an album, and they quote tweeted it with the Miley Cyrus leaving the Hannah Montana house.
Yeah.
And let's just start with the first tweet from April 19th because there's 3. Tortured Poets Department became Spotify's most streamed album in a single day, and Taylor Swift became the most streamed artist in a single day in Spotify history. And then the next day, yesterday, Spotify tweeted, history made on April 19th, 2024. Taylor Swift's Tortured Poets Department was the first album in Spotify history to have over 300 million streams in a single day, but we're not done. On April 19th, 2024, Taylor Swift's Fortnite featuring Post Malone became Spotify's most streamed song in a single day.
Like, what do you mean?
3 records. And by the way, guys, 300 million streams in one day. And that's just Spotify. That's not Apple
Yeah.
Music. That's not YouTube. That's not SoundCloud.
Yeah.
It's not Pandora Music. That is just Spotify. The reach that this woman has is unbelievable. And that's why I will continue to say, when people say she's not the GOAT and bring up names like Michael Jackson, Prince, the Beatles, all of those names are valid. They are not Taylor Swift. And I know
No,
it's a different time. I don't believe they're putting up those numbers in today's society. I don't
absolutely
think anyone is. She's the GOAT, and I will fight anyone over it for hours. I just will
not.
not give up because she's the greatest to ever do it. Continues to make history, and she's going to continue to make history. When we get TS12, 2 years from now, 3 years from now, is going to break these records too. So,
Absolutely.
well, we got 2 more re-records. Up next is my guess. I think that's the pattern we're doing.
Oh yeah.
So my next guess is, do we think we get rep or debut this year? My guess is if we do, it'll be way later in the year.
I think debut on December 13th.
See, I think rep comes first.
I think I've always had this conversation where it was like she reclaims her name and then her reputation is like the way I see it in my mind.
And obviously we don't know for sure. I feel like there's a lot of back and forth.
Yeah.
I just think you're going to want to have rep out for New Year's Day.
True, actually.
That's my only logic there. And I think it's kind of poetic too, that the first
Yeah.
album she ever puts
I see
out
both sides. I
is
see
the
both sides.
last. But I also think it makes sense to release debut on her birthday. So
Friday the 13th.
is Friday? Is December 13th a Friday?
Yeah.
Oh God, we're getting something.
Yeah.
I don't know what it is. We'll get something. At a minimum, we'll get like a music video or something.
Definitely.
Yeah, it is. There's no way that only comes up around every 7 years. She's releasing something.
Yeah.
Low key, I'm thinking reputation for that. I think that makes a lot of sense. And that puts me in prime position in my November show to get that shit announced.
Yeah. Oh, another thing I wanted to mention really quick is I'm going to the Eras tour on my birthday, and if my surprise song is not, I can do it with a broken heart, so I can sing "I'm
I'm
sorry,
so
birthday, I think it's my
my
birthday" on
birthday.
my birthday. Then I'll be very disappointed.
Okay, and we were supposed to wrap up, but now we're spiraling. Now that the album's out,
Oh yeah, what would
heard
you
it
want your surprise song to be?
from this
Like
album,
if it was a Tortured Poet song.
Smallest Man Who Ever Lived. No doubt in my mind. I think that song would slap so damn hard, but so would So High School. So High School would be
Imagine
such a bop.
what if we get So Long London?
Fuck me, bro. We're in London. Oh shit.
Yeah.
Oh my god. Thought session. Thought
Oh
session.
no.
Okay, on the guitar. You know I love a London boy. Built the piano. Could you imagine? Could you imagine?
Go away. Go away.
But do
Go away.
you think we're getting a Tortured Poet set? I mean, she has a new era on the Eras tour, and here's my thoughts with it. I think it's more likely than not, because this is the only chance she has to tour for this album. She still has another year of tour. She's not going to tour again next year with the Tortured Poets Department tour. So if she wants to tour this album, this is the only chance she has. And I don't know if she really. I mean, I guess you could count surprise songs as touring, but she has 31 songs on this album. She has plenty of songs to do surprise songs and have a set. So let's just play a little chemistry here. If you have a 4-song set on the Eras tour of Tortured Poets at a concert vibe, what are you putting on? For me, I think it's probably Fortnite. I'm thinking probably Florida. I can do it with a broken heart and So High School. I think that's what you build the Eras tour set as, and then the rest can be maybe even Clarabelle. But I say the rest are probably surprise songs.
Definitely I can do it with a broken heart. Honestly,
I think if she wants to put this after Midnight's, I think I Can Do It With a Broken Heart could close the damn Eras tour. I think it has the vibes to do it.
oh yeah. Oh my god, could you imagine?
Yeah. I just think the most tourable songs are the like Fortnite, My Boy Only Breaks His Favorite Toys, and like Florida. like so high school because
Yeah.
with folklore she has proved that she can sing slower songs in a tour environment and make it work. But I also think some of these are just like not the tour vibe.
Imagine Thank You Amy on the sound.
Oh my god, everyone throwing up their middle fingers. Fuck you, Amy. I would love it.
Oh my god. Okay, I can't think about this anymore. I need to go to bed because my brain is gonna explode.
Yeah, it's 9:08 p.m. in the States, which means what? It's what time is it there?
It's 2 a.m.
Yeah, so you're talking about it as you were listening to it. So.
Yeah.
All right, well, it's been a great show. Layla, for real, where can the people find you this time?
Oh yeah, for real this time? At Falcon's Not.
And you can find me at CJ where I tweet, honestly, just retweet a lot of Taylor Swift memes I think are funny at the moment.
Yeah.
So, yeah, look at me there. Seeing Challengers tomorrow, so I might put a little tweet review out of that. I'm very excited to go watch a movie about my favorite sport, tennis, and that's 100% why I'm going. Nothing else. I just love tennis.
Nothing
So
else?
definitely
Yeah.
not going to see a Zendaya threesome. What?
No.
Who said
Huh?
that? But anyways, I'm going to see that this week. So stay posted for that. And look what I got. Be jealous. All right. See you guys next week. Bye.